CCN Sunrise.
We are definitely woken up, and we're back with our second half hour. We're so excited to have author and Pasadena Weekly writer Justin Chapman here. He's going to talk about his new book.
And I'm looking forward to chef and food writer Lene Hamilton, and she's making a chicken marsala.
But we're going to start right away with the Morning Buzz, and writer, as I already mentioned, for the Pasadena Weekly and author of a new book called Saturnalia, Traveling from Cape Town to Kampala in Search of an African Utopia. Justin Chapman is going to join us for the Morning Buzz. And first we want to talk about the tragic crash of the Germanwings flight that went down this week. The recent news saying the co-pilot deliberately crashed the flight, killing 150 people, including him. This is just, we're finding out new things about this story every day, including that, this co-pilot probably did suffer from depression, actually left for a while, maybe was suspended and everything.
Sehnita, Mike, just to pause there, they gave him a physical when he came back, but knowing he had left for depression, they did not give him a mental checkup, and I'm concerned with that.
I'm not sure. I've heard things that he might not have mentioned that he suffered
he
from that.
He withheld it from the employer.
But they knew that he was gone for depression.
They did, yeah.
That's my point. They knew he had left for
depression, or
he had mental problem or mental issues, and he had left. My question, it's just a question really, is when any person in this position, this kind of responsibility, giving them a physical, shouldn't that include some mental checks?
Well, I was hearing about this, that you can check a person's mental status on day 1, and then day 5 they could be of a whole different status. So how do you really determine where this person's at? And should we be having a therapist work with co-pilots at all times to find out?
Right, and I mean, there's only so much you can do, really. I need to look at all measures, including having bathrooms inside of cockpits.
I was thinking that too. I can mention that to you.
I'm surprised I didn't do that before.
Well, even the black boxes, I don't understand at this point why we have to keep searching for these black boxes, because we wouldn't have known half of this.
No, with satellite technology, you would wonder why things can't be beamed real time and collected, in a safe place.
And if a jet is going down, well, I guess, with landing and stuff, but if it's going down too quickly, I mean, why isn't the control tower alerted? Why can't they beam into the cockpit and find out?
I've got to think that if we're thinking about this, then certainly other people are thinking about it. But let's change topics now and go to the Midwest. Indiana Governor Mike Pence just signed a Religious Freedom Restoration Act I didn't
know it was gone. Did you?
No. That's what I don't understand is it's touted as necessary because of religious attacks or attacks on religions, and I just don't see that. I don't see government agencies coming down on Christian businesses or punishing Christian businesses.
Well,
I don't understand why it's necessary.
The thing that's going to happen, it's going to bite them back. These are the same people who are crying about Sharia laws coming into our neighborhoods, that kind of thing. So if you give religious freedom, aren't you going to have to pass on that religious freedom to people who now want Sharia law?
Absolutely.
Well, oddly enough, these laws, and there's 31 states that have these laws and a dozen others that are getting ready to pass them. The law was not actually directed, had nothing to do with Christians. It really had to do with, I think at the beginning was peyote for Indians and these types of religious practices. And the law itself is really meant to clarify a legal statute.
Let's be honest. It's really meant to discriminate against gay and lesbians.
Absolutely.
That's the new group that we're going to discriminate against, and say it's because of our religion that it's okay to discriminate against these people. And there are lots of Indianians, friends of mine, who don't want this in their name.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not. You may be correct, but I think that what the law doesn't do is to just give people blanket amnesty to discriminate. If you choose to discriminate and say that it's on your religious grounds, you then have to prove it to the government.
I still don't see why the law is necessary in the first place.
I thought we already had a separation of church and state. I already,
There's already religious freedom in the Bill of
Well,
Rights.
here's something I'll throw out at you, because it's my belief that this has nothing to do with religion, and the argument is actually the wrong argument. It's actually a private property issue, and whether or not people have the right to do with their private property what they wish.
But it's not just private property, because this gives things like pharmacists or doctors, do they have a right to say, I'm not treating this gay person because that's against my religious...
It is private property. If you're a tennis coach, can the government compel you to teach Justin tennis if you have some objection to him?
But the thing is,
your knowledge is your private property.
But this
we're
is
going to have to leave it
state-sanctioned.
right there, Justin.
We're going to bring you back,
Sure.
though. We're going to talk about your book, Saturnalia. I'm really excited to hear about your adventures. So don't go away. We have more with Justin coming back.